Getting the 110 ready. Gotta find some 20 amp breakers though. This is nice. Cool.
Why are you installing a 110 on a telephone pole?
Well, there's two reasons. One is a plug. Put a 20 amp breaker in there. I could actually run it later and put a big old floodlight with a camera on it. So, kind of like what we had in West Virginia property.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I do, it's actually so easy, man. Because this stuff all screws on and goes on there. So, just so you know, that those top legs are live.
Yes.
So that means things go zzz, zzz, and stuff to you. It's got a whip. You can adjust it whatever size you need, and easily done by taking these clamps. So I bought these to fasten it to the pole. Like this. That way you don't have. Actually, that's a better way of doing it. So it holds it to code. So I mean, yeah, it's a little extra, a couple bucks. I mean, but why skip something to code? Because what if a code enforcement officer walked out here and they got a right to, because they don't want you dying? So these are just extra security, I guess, is the bottom line. So I put one there and one down there. And you notice I don't use nails. I use nothing but screws, because everything is easily replaced then. And I use the hex heads, makes it better than normal screwdriver or Phillips or flathead. Don't do these too hard. Pretty secure now. Now, instead of feeding that way, I feed that way, because I don't want to poke up there. It's like poking a hornet's nest.
I would appreciate it, you not poking that electric nest.
It's always good to have a pair of rubber gloves on in case of anything goes stupid. So basically we have a 50 amp here. It's not on, the main breaker's off, so.
And what are you feeding in there?
Wire.
For us that don't know electricity. So wire.
Well, one's hot, one's ground, one's neutral ground. So, it's actually better to feed one at a time. See, that grounds. This grounds out that box. That box is metal. So in case of a lightning strike and it, for some weird reason, it hit that box. And it goes to the ground. And this has been hooked up, it's secured, it's nice. I actually love this one because it's got a little lock. You can plug it in. So it's got a little lock. You put an extension cord and it come down and stay plugged in during all the elements. So, and plus it has another one on the side. And it's GFCI. So in other words, it will trip. and you won't have a fire. So, bottom line, loads on, ground's on. I got another clamp I'll use for this, but I'm not worried about it because ground is ground. And basically this is your hot line, which got to get two 20 amps breakers put in here. So anyway, yeah, so 50 amp was installed last year. That's what got us approved to have our meter going with our pretty little sign. We got pretty little signs all along out here. These are cute, actually. They're tiny. It says private property, no trespassing, or you will die. If you are meaning bad harm to this property or any animal, especially redhead. No hand movements. Anyways, you can see cleaned up quite a bit here. And as you can tell, I'm benching that up top there, if you see up there. So zoom out and you can see it all. But that right there was a lot of like boulders spots, and I don't know, people taking boulders and moved them somewhere else, but there were some deep holes. So what we were doing, brought a lot of dirt, put it next to the fire, the burn barrel, and I just moved it all up there. And as I started grading it out, I got my grade that I wanted because I wanted to make this a driveway up as well as over there. So that way the cabin and the other cabin that'll be up top. So wherever that point is. Now, this area, I want to have a big driveway that goes that way later on, right by that old outhouse. And actually that outhouse is going to be converted one day to a real house, you know.
A real pea house?
Yeah, a real number 1, number 2 house. That will have a plumbing, so it'll have its own septic, own little baby septic. So what I'll do is I'll move this rock back, cut this out, so it has a big, you know, wide angle going either or, so nobody hits these. So other than that, I mean, we were finding all kinds of stuff and wood, and so
I don't think we have enough wood.
no, we got plenty more to go. So, other than that, I mean, we cleaned up that big pile that I piled up the other day from what we did in the front up there. So then, right by the old dry cabin here, this was all trash, if anybody remembers. So, and this will be taken apart, and I'll make a makeshift staircase or something out of the wood that we've been milling. So other than that, it's looking good. I keep finding stuff that it's just like, how do people have all this stuff? I mean, this is stuff that I think you serve meals with. I don't know. United States, yeah, bakery. So it's like, where do you get to put the loaves of bread on it and you stick it in the rack? Like, what's that doing here? So anyway, yeah.